Good day viewers, welcome to another mathematics presentation. So right here with me I've got question 21 and question 22. These are questions that came in mathematics paper 1 for 2023. So let's look at this question. Write three inequalities that define the unshaded region R. So we have the Cartesian plane right here, and we have the first inequality right here. We also have another one, and we also have this one. So we have the unshaded region R here. So they want us to write three inequalities. So first thing, identify the lines that are easier for you. So we can see we have our line 1 right here. This is very much easier. Then we can also take note of this other one. We have our line 2, and we are going to make this as our line 3. Okay, so upon doing that, then we can start. So for line 1, we can see that this is the y-axis and this is the x-axis. So line 1 is cutting the y-axis at the point y is equal to 6. At the point y is equal to 6. So they want us to describe the unshaded region, which is this side. So the shaded part is greater. We have numbers that are bigger than 6. Then at the bottom, we have numbers that are less than 6. So we are going to write y less than 6. Now, looking at the type of line, this is a solid line. It's not dotted like this. So since it's a solid line, should have equal to. So this is our first inequality. Okay. So we now come to our line 2. This is our line 2. So this line 2 is passing on the point y equal to x. Okay, this is the line. Then there is another line that passes from here, passing through the center. This line is y is equal to negative x. So for this one, even if you have not solved it, it will give you the same. Okay, or if you want, you can solve. So to solve, you can find the gradient of this same straight line using the endpoints. So here we've got 0, 0. Okay, then we can also pick another point like here. They have given us 6, 6, 6, 6. Or you can even pick this one right here where there is 2, 2. It will give you the same value. So this is x1, y1, x2, y2. So gradient is found using this formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So what you are going to do there is you are just going to substitute. You will say m equal to, where there is y2, put a 6, where there is y1, will put a 0, over where there is x2, will put a 6, where there is x1, will put a 0. So the reason why I picked 0, 0, because this line is also passing on the origin here, where we have the coordinates 0, 0. I can also pick this point, or I can pick these coordinates, is fine. So from here, what you are going to do is m equal to 6 minus 0 is 6 over 6 minus 0 is 6. So the value of the gradient is equal to 1. Okay, so you can use this now gradient to find the equation of the same straight line for this one. So to find the equation of the straight line, we are going to use this formula, y minus y1 equal to m open bracket x minus x1. Then from here, we add these two coordinates. You can pick any. So let me just pick 0, 0 for easier calculations. So we have picked 0, 0. So this is x1. This is y1. Okay. So you just substitute. You say y minus y1 is a 0. M is the gradient. The value it's a 1 that you have found. Then x minus x1 it's a 0 also. So we have something like this, y equal to 1 times x, it's x, 1 times 0, it will give us a 0. So it will give us this y is equal to x. That's why at first I said this is the line, y is equal to x. So I'm just trying to show you that it's the same. So since you know that y is equal to x, this is the line, and this is a dotted what line. You can see it's dotted. Okay, so what you say, you're going to do this. We have said y is equal to x. We need an inequality, so we write y and x. So what inequality sign are we going to put? We are describing the unshaded region, which is the upper region. Okay, the upper region is greater and the lower region is less. So since the upper region is greater, which is the unshaded region, we say y. Come back here, we say y is greater than x. That's all. For this one, we are not going to put equal to, because the line is a dotted what line. So we have found our answer. Let us now try to solve for this other line, which is our line what? Our line 3. So to solve for our line 3, we will do the same, okay? First, find the gradient of this line. Then use the same gradient to find the equation of the straight line. So pick the points. It's cutting x-axis and y-axis. So x-axis cutting at the point 3. And this is the line y equal to 0. So the y coordinate is going to be a 0. The x coordinate a 3. So 3, 0. Okay. Then for this one, there is also this one, where it's cutting the y-axis at the point 6. And this is the line x is equal to 0. X is equal to 0. So the x coordinate is going to be a 0. And the y coordinate will be a 6. So you can get these points and these coordinates to find the gradient. So we are saying we will pick 0, 6. Also pick 3, 0, which is this one. So what you do now, just rename your equations. This is x1, y1, x2, y2. Find the gradient, m equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so m is equal to, just substitute. Where there is y2, we are going to put a 0, minus where there is y1, we put a 6 there, over where there is x2, we put a 3, minus where there is x1, we put a 0, like this. So from here, we are going to say m is equal to 0 minus 6, it's a negative 6, over 3 minus 0, it's a 3. So from here, we are going to say y is equal to 3 here, 1, 3 into 6, it's a 2. So 1 into 2, it's a 2. Then there is this negative. So the value of the gradient is equal to a negative 2. So upon finding the gradient of this, this line, we can now find the equation of the straight line using this gradient. So we are going to use our formula, which is y minus y1 equal to m, open bracket, x minus x1. So here we just substitute on y1 and x1 and the gradient. So the gradient is a negative 2. Then for the coordinates, we can pick any because we are using these and these. So if you want, you can pick these or you can pick these. So I'll pick this because I want my y1 to be a 0. So the coordinates I'll pick 3, 0. So this will be x1. This will be y1. So even if you want, you can pick these. You get the same answer. Then just substitute. So this y will remain. Y minus y1 is a 0. This one. Our gradient is a negative 2. Our x will remain, minus our x1 is it's a 3. From here, you need to expand by opening the brackets. So y minus 0, this 0 won't have any impact. So just y equal to negative 2 times x. We are going to have negative 2x. Then negative times negative will get a positive. 2 times 3 will get a 6. Then from here, this is the equation. Now we need an inequation. So we need to come back to our graph so that we identify nicely. So from here, you can see that the shaded part is this and the unshaded part is this side. So the upper part is greater, the lower region is less. The unshaded part is the upper region, which is greater. And look at the type of line. This is a solid D line. So we are going to put the equal to. So we are going to say y, we are going to write y is greater or equal to negative 2x plus 6. This is our answer. So others, it's fine even if you take the negative 2x to where y is, then you remain with a 6 here. Still, they will mark you in an exam. So our first inequality was y less than or equal to 6. Then our second one is y greater than x. Our third one is y greater or equal to negative 2x plus 6. And you have gotten your 5 marks. You are good to go. So let us now look at our question 22. All right, so this is our question 22b right here. Okay, so the diagram shows the sketch of the graph y is equal to negative 4x minus x squared, cutting the x-axis at A and B. So this is the graph, okay, which is cutting the x-axis at the point A and B. So find the coordinates of A. They just want to find the coordinates of what? A. So what we know is this is the x-axis, which is the line y is equal to 0. So the coordinates of A are going to be written in this form, x comma 0, because I've said this is the line y is equal to 0. So the y coordinate will be a 0. So we need to find the x coordinate. How do we find the x coordinate? We are going to use this function that we have been given for this graph. Okay, so we are going to do this. We will use the same function where we just say we have y equal to, I hope you are able to see, y equal to negative 4x minus x squared. So we have said y is equal to 0. So right here where there is a y, we are going to put a 0. So we are going to have negative 4x minus x squared is equal to a 0. So from here, you can see what we have. We can factorize. What is common right here? It's x, open bracket. So here when you factor out x, we remain with negative 4. Then minus, because this x and this x has cancelled, you remain with a negative 4 right here. Then minus x squared, x into x squared, you just remain with x equal to 0. So this is a quadratic equation which will give us two possible values of x. So this first x will be equated to 0. X is equal to 0 or negative 4 minus x equal to 0. So we can solve for this one. Negative 4 minus x equal to 0. So this negative 4 go to the other side, you remain with negative x is equal to a 4. It was a negative, it becomes a positive. So here we divide with a negative 1, even here negative 1. Therefore, x is equal to negative 4. So this is the x value. We have two possible values of x, which is x is equal to 0 or x is equal to negative 4. Now, looking at the point A is on the negative side right here. It's on the negative side of the x-axis. So it's going to carry this negative 4. Then this x is equal to 0. You can see it's on the origin right here. So this proves our answer. So you can just say the coordinates of A will be, where there is x, we'll put a negative 4, comma 0. Okay, these are the coordinates of A. For the purpose of knowing the coordinates of B, it's right here. So for B, it will be 0, comma 0. Now they just wanted you to find the coordinates of A. So we have found our first answer. Let us now look at question 2. Find the turning point. Find the coordinates of the turning point of the graph. So the coordinates of the turning point, you can see this graph, the way it's coming like this. So where it's making a turn, it's making a turn right here. So they need to find the coordinates of this turning point. So to find the coordinates of the turning point, we are going to need the y coordinate right here, and we are going to need the x coordinate. So first thing, we need to find the x coordinate. So how do you find the x coordinate? To find the x coordinate, we are going to use this simple formula: x is equal to negative b over 2a. So take note of the function. The function is y is equal to negative 4x minus x squared. This is our function. So I hope that you are following. Now from here, once you compare it to the quadratic equation function, the general function, which is ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. So you can see that this a presents the coefficient of x squared, b presents the coefficient of x, c presents the constant value. Okay, so from here, when you look at your equation that you have something like this. You can rewrite it in this way: x squared minus 4x equal to 0. So a is equal to, what is the coefficient of x squared? It's negative 1. Okay, because say negative x, so it means there is a 1 way. Now they can't write 1x. Then b, what is the coefficient of b, which is for this x? It's a negative 4, like this. So just substitute them. You say x is equal to negative, where there is b, we are going to put negative 4. So I will enclose it in brackets, negative 4 over 2 open bracket, where there is a, we'll put -1 like that. Then from there we'll say x is equal to, so negative negative positive, so get a positive 4. 2 times -1 to give us a -2. So from here we say x is equal to 2 here 1, 2 into 4 it's a 2. So here it's a -1 into 2 to give us -2. So the x coordinate is a negative what? A -2. So we have found our x coordinate. Now we need to find our y coordinate. So to find the y coordinate, we are going to use this same function that we have been given at the start, which is y equal to -4x minus x squared. So what we are going to do is, we know that x is equal to -2, so you just substitute y equal to -4 open bracket, negative x is equal to -2 minus -2 squared, like this. Okay, so we are going to have y equal to -4. So -4 times -2, this will give us +8. Yeah, +8. Then minus -2 squared, it will give us +4. So from here we are going to have y is equal to 8 minus 4 to give us a 4. So these are the coordinates. So the coordinates of the turning point, we are going to have for x it's a -2, for y it's a 4. So when you look at our graph, so meaning that the coordinates of this turning point was -2, 4. Indeed, you can see that here we have the x coordinate. When you come down here, which will be a -2. When you go this side, it will be a 4. So this is how you answer this question. So we just write our answer here. We said x is equal to 0 or x is equal to -4. Then here the coordinates of a, we have said it's -4, 0. Then the turning point coordinates, we have found that is -2, 4. So this is how you can answer this question. So we've come to the end of our session. Thank you so much, everybody. This has been your presenter, Mr. Mlenga. Bye-bye.